everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. It's no secret from day one that I've done this channel that Supergirl is my number one person, along with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So back in 2016, when Supergirl was announced that she was getting a TV show, I was over the moon. I even liked the actress that was going to play Supergirl. I'd seen her briefly. My wife watched Glee on a semi-regular basis, so I knew who Melissa Benoist was. And I thought that that was a great choice because she looks like Supergirl. The reason I'm talking about the TV show today is soon after the TV show started, they did a digital first series called The Adventures of Supergirl based on the events of what happened on the TV show as opposed to what was happening in regular continuity in the comic books. Supergirl literally had a series going on, which they sillily, stupidly canceled just as the TV show was starting, as they made the announcement. So I don't know why that happened. So at the time this came out, there was no Supergirl series. Rebirth came along in 2017, I think. And that is when, of course, we got a Supergirl series again with that after the New 52. The New 52 series ended after 40 issues. So this series was based on season 1 because it came out at the same time, and the season 1 was on CBS as opposed to the CW. So even though there was an appearance by Grant Gustin as Flash on the Supergirl series, that was more because they had been together on Glee rather than any connection to the Arrowverse. They were in separate universes at the time. It was with season 2 that they combined them into one universe and that it became part of the Arrowverse. National City didn't exist before the TV show. Neither did the characters Eliza and Jeremiah Danvers. They were Fred and Edna before, and but they were good characters because I thought it was cool that they brought Dean Cain as Jeremiah and the original great Supergirl as Helen Slater as the mom, Eliza Danvers. What was even cooler was that Eliza stuck around. I know they killed off Jeremiah in the story on the show, but Eliza stuck around. Melissa Benoist was a great Supergirl, and to be honest, I would not have been upset if they brought her back in the upcoming Supergirl movie. Now, I have no issue with Millie Alcock either. I think she's picked more because she was younger. Melissa is now, and I don't want to say it bad, but in Hollywood, she's in her 30s now, and the character is supposed to be in that early 20s period during this period. So they went with a younger actress, which, again, they nailed the look. So I'm very happy about that. For this series, all covers were done by the artist Cat Staggs. All books were written by Sterling Gates, and each book, for the most part, had a different artist team. We begin with issue 1, and what I love is that all the characters in this series look like their TV counterparts. So the Jimmy Olsen in here looks like McCall Brooks, and Alex Danvers looks like Chyler Lee, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Issue 1. Supergirl is fighting Rampage in National City's football stadium. Eventually, she knocks Rampage out. When Alex shows up in a helicopter, Rampage gets up and knocks Supergirl down and throws her at the helicopter, where her invulnerable body destroys the helicopter blades. However, Supergirl recovers enough to catch the helicopter and letting it down softly, thus ensuring Alex is fine. Rampage has escaped through the sewer system. Busting through a wall, Rampage then knocks down Kara again and takes off with her as she's stunned momentarily. Supergirl has been knocked silly, waking up later, caged, and being watched by Rampage. The cage is made out of initron, which is the strongest substance in the known universe, which longtime fans of the Legion of Superheroes would know. Rampage then tells her origins. Rampage attacks Supergirl when Supergirl somehow manages to find a weak spot and escape. Alex and the DEO squad bust in, having found having discovered where it was. Water starts enveloping the lair from the exploded area, due to the break-in there, and Supergirl saves everyone except Rampage, who is swept away by the water. That book, by the way, when I got that, my wife saw it and she made the comment about how she couldn't believe that I, as a normal person, liked seeing pictures of flying girls in skirts. It's not my fault she wears a skirt. Issue 2. The art is done by John Boy Mayers and Pop Mahan. By the way, issue 1's art was done by the artist known as Bengal. His name is Bengal San. He's a French artist. 2 days after the fight with Rampage, Kara is stopping a robbery when she learns that gunmen are at her workplace. Turns out her friend Wynn is being arrested. The police think that Wynn has been doxing people. Kara and James Olsen, find a person in a computer who is claiming to be a person called Viral, and claims that it was a complete fraud. Sorry about the noise. That was the tape that was too close to the book. Supergirl breaks Wynn free, knowing that he's innocent, and Viral says that he knows who Kara Danvers really is. Wynn takes Kara to a hacker's place that he knows, and that they find that Jimmy is suddenly being held hostage. Having been hooked up to every computer in the room, Viral says that James will be brain damaged if they try to do anything. However, they finally track down where Viral is, and Supergirl captures it, because it's an it, and has him turned over to the DEO. Luckily, James is okay. It's all building to something. Trust me. Issue 3. Trying to pry information out of Viral Docs. By the way, the pencilers Emanuela Lupacino, and the inks are done by Ray McCarthy. Trying to pry information from Viral Docs. Yes, that Viral Docs. The DEO agents suddenly turn into monsters and shoot kryptonite guns at Kara. Sometime later, learning on the TV, she's found out that the DEO HQ has been bombed, and that both Hank Henshaw and Alex Danvers have died. Kara collapses and wakes up in the DEO ruins. At this point, she realizes that it's a dream and that someone is mentally attacking her. Working through various dreams, she finally finds out that it's a character by the name of Psy as the perpetrator, who was a psychic guard at Fort Ross, hired by her mother to keep dangerous criminals asleep, but whose body was destroyed in the Fort Ross crash. Eventually, Psy decides to release her, and she wakes up telling her background story, leading to the next issue. The art here is done by Carmen Carnero. At the DEO, Viral Docs is still being kept under surveillance. Meanwhile, Alex and Kara are on a road trip based on the information they got from Psy, and they've discovered that recent events may have made them feel that Alex is being targeted. Finding a tunnel at their destination, when they finally finish in Arizona, they discover that this tunnel leads to a room full of Helix-type robots, and everyone knows who Helix is. Helix, depending on your your pronunciation. Most people I know say Helix, but I believe the correct pronunciation is Calyx robots. Who's going to be in the Superman movie, by the way? The robots attack her. While Supergirl is engaged, Alex is abducted. The abductor turns out to be a woman named Facet. Alex has a grenade and tosses it at Facet. Facet is made out of pure diamond. Somehow it's alive. But so Supergirl manages to bring her to the surface as the grenade is exploding. Kara reveals Facet asked her to ask her mother about her. Issue 5. Believe me, it all ties in. It's a pretty good series, actually. The artist for this book was Kat Staggs, so she did the cover and the interior. Speaking with Allura's hologram, because at this time Allura is not known to be alive. That didn't happen until the CW years. Kara and Alex learn about Facet. Facet was made of diamond and was the only guard survivor of the biggest prison riot in Kryptonian history. Having been hired at Fort Ross, they worked together at first, but Facet's attitude grew hard as their composition as things went on. Kara asks if Facet was sent to watch over her. And then there's the realization that she, not Alex, is the real target. Which leads us to issue 6, the finale, the Random McNally finale. The art in this one is done by Emma Viacelli. Alex and Kara are reviewing Facet's attacks when suddenly the computers start beeping like crazy. Viral Docs has taken over the computer system. Facet then hints who her next target is. Rampage shows up. They all comes together and attacks the Danvers girls. Facet takes advantage to kidnap Eliza Danvers. An hour later, Facet and Supergirl are facing each other, with Eliza mind-controlled by Facet. Facet claims Supergirl to be reformed as her Earth times are being broken. She's there to protect her in her Kryptonian ways. Supergirl then attacks. Where 1 hour earlier, Rampage is attacked by Supergirl and John Jones, who finally makes an appearance in here. Rampage is eventually subdued. Facet's body is actually shattered with Innertron bullets. And Psi admits that Eliza's kidnapping is a ruse to fool Facet. This is before the other part, and this is the order, the way the book went. Kara then realized that Facet was watching her all along to try and destroy her life on Earth. The end. An interesting story. You take the 6 together and they make an episode of the show. And actually, it's not bad considering they took a TV medium and turned it into comic form, which is something that, has been done a lot over the years. There are a lot of TV shows. I remember that the first 3 issues of the Battlestar Galactica series from Marvel were directly from the script of the first 3 episodes of the TV show, and so on, and moved on. So this has been done before, but the difference was this was actually not an episode considered for the series because it would have cost too much in special effects. This series, by the way, has been collected together. You can get it as a trade paperback. It's still available, reasonably cheap, and it's a lot of fun. I got into a little more detail on this one because if I didn't get into the details, it was easy to get lost. But I still recommend you read this. I mean, issue 1 alone, the art covers are fantastic. Kat Staggs does an amazing job with all. 1 is great. 2 is cooler. And what I like is each cover has something to do with the story, but does not necessarily have something to do with that particular story. It's almost like they did all the covers first and then just thought, oh, this cover looks cool, this cover looks cool, this cover looks cool, and put it together. But all 6 issues do flesh together. They all mesh, and they're great. If you like what I've done here, please like, comment, and subscribe below. I really want to know, when it comes to Supergirl especially, what people think. She is, in my terms, by far the best comic-centered character ever created. I know that she's a rip-off of Superman to begin with, but why do we have to be, so petty? Thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate each and every one of you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this. My name's Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye.